Good morning, children. Today, let us study about gametogenesis. Yesterday, you have studied about male and female reproductive system. Today, let us study about gametogenesis. So, what is gametogenesis? Genesis means formation. Formation of gamete is called gametogenesis. And where is gametes formed? Gametes are formed in gonads. What is gonad? Gonad is reproductive organ. So, gametogenesis is the formation of gametes in the gonads or reproductive organ. Which are the two types of gametes? One is sperm and other is ova. Okay, so this gametogenesis includes spermatogenesis and oogenesis. What is spermatogenesis? Spermatogenesis is the formation of sperms, and oogenesis is the formation of ova. Okay, so let us study in detail about spermatogenesis. First, let us study in detail about spermatogenesis. So, gametogenesis is divided into spermatogenesis and oogenesis. So, let us study what is spermatogenesis. What is spermatogenesis? It is the process of formation of sperms in seminiferous tubules of testis. So, where is sperm formed? Sperms are formed in the seminiferous tubules of testis. Sperms are otherwise known as spermatozoa. Both are same. So, it is the process of formation of sperms in seminiferous tubules of testis. That is called spermatogenesis. And what are the different stages of spermatogenesis? This question is very, very important. So, all of you have to draw the schematic representation given in the textbook. This is very, very important question. So, let us study what are the stages of spermatogenesis. It is divided into first formation of spermatids from spermatogonium. Okay, that we will discuss later. Then another is spermiogenesis, that is spermatids transform into sperm. So two stages, mainly two stages are there. One is formation of spermatids. Spermatids are undifferentiated. And next is spermiogenesis. Spermiogenesis means this spermatids will become differentiated, they will transform into sperm. So two main steps are there in spermatogenesis. One is formation of spermatids, that is spermatogonia mother cells produce spermatids, and second is spermiogenesis, that is spermatids transform into sperm. So let us study in detail about spermatogenesis. This diagram is very, very important, and you have to write the ploidy of all. So first step, this spermatogonia. This actually spermatogonia is present inside the seminiferous tubule. Yesterday you have already studied about the structure of male reproductive system. In that I have told inside the seminiferous tubule two type of cells are there. One is spermatogonium and other is Sertoli cells. So spermatogonium is diploid. Spermatogonium is diploid. So this spermatogonium will undergo mitotic division. It undergo mitotic division to form primary spermatocytes, and primary spermatocytes are also diploid. 2n, two sets of chromosomes are there. So spermatogonia will undergo mitotic division to form primary spermatocytes, which is diploid, and this primary spermatocytes will undergo meiotic division, first meiotic division. It will undergo first meiotic division to form secondary spermatocytes. After meiotic division, reduction division, it is otherwise known as reduction division. So reduction of chromosomes take place. So this secondary spermatocyte is haploid. Secondary spermatocyte is haploid. Then the secondary spermatocyte will again undergo meiosis 2, which is equivalent to this mitotic division, and it will give rise to spermatids. Spermatids are also haploid. And the spermatids, you can see in the picture, the spermatids, you can see this in the picture. I'll try to underline this. See, this is spermatid. This is spermatid, undifferentiated, and the spermatid will differentiate, and spermatid will differentiate into spermatozoa or sperms. So this is the process of spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis is the formation of sperms inside the seminiferous tubule. So first step is spermatogonia, which is diploid, will undergo mitotic division. It will give rise to primary spermatocytes, which is diploid, and this primary spermatocytes will undergo meiosis 1 to form secondary spermatocytes, which is haploid. Please remember that when you draw the schematic representation. It is haploid. Then secondary spermatocytes will undergo meiotic division to form spermatids, which is also haploid, and spermatids will differentiate into spermatozoa or sperms. Now again you can see this is the section of the seminiferous tubule, and this is the schematic representation of spermatogenesis. Primary spermatocyte gives rise to two secondary spermatocytes, which is haploid, and single secondary spermatocyte will give rise to two spermatids. So single primary spermatocyte will give rise to 4 spermatids or 4 sperms. This question hard, it is coming under hard question. So single primary spermatocyte finally will give rise to 4 spermatids and 4 sperms, which is 4 sperms, which is haploid. Then after sperms are formed. Then after spermiogenesis is the transformation of this spermatid into sperm or spermatozoa. So after spermiogenesis, sperm heads become embedded in the Sertoli cells. The head of the sperm cells will get embedded in the Sertoli cells. Here you can see in the picture, you can see the sperm heads become embedded in the Sertoli cells. Then they are released from the seminiferous tubule. Then finally they are released from the seminiferous tubule, and that process is called spermiation. So in this spermatogenesis, you have to understand 3 terms, that is spermatogenesis, spermiation. Okay, spermiation, differentiate between spermatogenesis and spermiation, or that type of questions will be asked. So after 3 terms are there. One is spermatogenesis, spermiogenesis, and spermiation. What is spermatogenesis? It is the formation of sperms in the seminiferous tubule. What is spermiogenesis? Spermiogenesis is the transformation of spermatids into sperm. And what is spermiation? After spermiogenesis, sperm heads become embedded in the Sertoli cells. Then they are released from the seminiferous tubules, and it is called spermiation. So I think this concept is clear to you. This is very, very important for the exam. Now let us study about the role of hormones in spermatogenesis. Role of hormones are also very important in spermatogenesis. First of all, hypothalamus. Last year you have studied, in the last chapter you have studied about all the endocrine glands and all. So try to recollect. So during spermatogenesis, what happens? Hypothalamus will secrete hormone which act on pituitary gland, and then pituitary gland will get stimulated, and it will secrete 2 gonadotropin hormones. Which are the 2 gonadotropin hormones? One is luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, that is LH and FSH. Luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. Then luteinizing hormone will act on Leydig cells. Leydig cells, what is the role of Leydig cells? Leydig cells will secrete testosterone. Okay, luteinizing hormone or LH act on Leydig cells, and Leydig cells then release or secrete androgen. Androgen means testosterone. It will secrete androgen, and it will stimulate, that androgen will stimulate spermatogenesis. Okay, then what happens to follicle stimulating hormone? Follicle stimulating hormone will act on Sertoli cells. What is the function of Sertoli cells? Sertoli cells will give nourishment to the sperm. So it acts on Sertoli cells, and it stimulates secretion of factors for spermiogenesis. It will stimulate the secretion of factors for spermiogenesis. So this is the role of hormones in spermatogenesis. First, hypothalamus will act on pituitary gland. Then pituitary gland will secrete two gonadotropin hormones, that is luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. And luteinizing hormone will act on Leydig cells and it will secrete androgen. And androgen will stimulate spermatogenesis. Then follicle stimulating hormone, it will act on Sertoli cells, and this Sertoli cells will stimulate the secretion of factors for spermiogenesis. Okay, so this is the role of hormones in spermatogenesis. Now let us study the structure of spermatozoa or sperm. This diagram is also very, very important. This diagram, please draw the diagram and label the parts. So a mature sperm is about 60 micrometer long. 60. It is very, very small. It is not visible with the help of naked eye. So sperm is enveloped by a plasma membrane. You can see the outermost layer is called plasma membrane. And sperm consists of head. You can see that head labeling. You can see head. It is divisible into head, middle piece and tail. So sperm is enveloped by a plasma membrane and it consists of head, middle piece and tail. Now let us see, one important question will be asked about acrosome. What is acrosome? Where is it situated? And what is the function of acrosome? So in the head part, you can see head is oval shape, and in the head you can see nucleus and acrosome. You can see the tip of the head you can see at the tip of the head acrosome is present. Acrosome is formed from Golgi complex and it contains lytic enzymes. Lytic enzyme means during fertilization this acrosome will release certain enzymes which can digest the wall of the ovum, ovum or egg. So that is the main function of acrosome. So it contains lytic enzymes. That is very important. What is the function of acrosome? So acrosome contains lytic enzymes and during fertilization it will digest the ball of egg. Now middle piece is composed of axial filament surrounded by mitochondria and cytoplasm. You can see in the middle piece lot of mitochondria is there because sperm is motile. It has to move. So energy is required. So mitochondria provide energy for the sperm motility. Okay, in the middle piece, mitochondria is there. It produces energy for the sperm motility. Then last is tail. Tail consists of a central axial filament. And actually this sperm moves in fluid medium and female genital tract by the undulating movement of the tail. So what is the function of tail? For the movement. Okay, to move in the fluid medium, and in female genital tract also they have to move by the undulating movement of the tail. So that is the main function of tail. So this is the structure of spermatozoa or sperm. This is very important. It consists of head, middle piece and tail. Head has got nucleus and acrosome. Acrosome contains lytic enzymes which digest the wall of the egg during fertilization. Middle piece mainly consists of mitochondria which produce energy for the sperm motility, and tail consists of central axial filament, and tail helps in the movement, undulating movement. So this is the structure of spermatozoa. And you can see the movement of sperms. And the human male ejaculates about 200 to 300 million sperms during sexual interaction, that is coitus. Human male ejaculates about 200 to 300 million sperms. And for normal fertility, at least 60% of the sperms must have normal shape and size, and 40% of them must show vigorous motility. Then only fertilization will occur. If production of sperm is less, fertilization will not occur. So human male ejaculates 200 to 300 million sperms during copulation or coitus, and for normal fertility 60% must have normal shape and size. So this is all about spermatogenesis. In the next class, we will study about oogenesis.